Lovemuffins. If you watched my video earlier, you will know that this is filmed on the same day, my intro video, that is. You'll know that this was filmed on the same day because I haven't changed my makeup, my hair's still the same. Everything is exactly as it was in that video earlier. But I mentioned a little bit about the fact that I'm in this particular part of my life, that I'm pregnant with baby number 4. And one of the things that I'm facing during this pregnancy is gestational diabetes. And then it dawned on me earlier that some of you may not know what that is. So I'm taking this opportunity while I'm out getting my evening walk, which is one of the things that I do to help maintain my sugar levels while I'm pregnant, to kind of tell you a little bit about what that is and how I'm working on it. So excuse the light. It's going to go in and out while I'm trying to get this walk in. And I actually did some of my walk earlier, so I won't have to do it as long this time around. So sorry if I'm winded. I was already about to start working out when I found out I was pregnant. And then I found out I was pregnant. So there you go. All right. I'm working on it. All right. So about gestational diabetes, like to the subject at hand. So of course, as you dive into your pregnancy, your body starts to change. And one of those changes is, within your uterus and things like hormones and everything come into play, whatever. But the big thing is that the development of the placenta releases a hormone that for some women makes it more difficult to process or create insulin, which is what is necessary to help you regulate your glucose levels or your sugar levels within your body. And what that means is that for some women, because that can cause higher sugar levels whenever we eat, anything, that there comes a need to test it and regulate it for the health of the baby and for health of mama. So if it's not regulated, there's a whole slew of things that can happen with mama. It could lead to like preeclampsia. It could lead to problems during labor and delivery. With baby, it can definitely lead to hyperglycemia, jaundice, larger babies, and a few other things. It could even lead to stillbirth. And something that happens, or that could possibly happen with both mama and baby, if mama has gestational diabetes like I do, is that it is very possible that later on in life you will develop type 2 diabetes, which is something that I do not want. I have it in my family. I've seen it my whole life. I know that that is something that I don't want to spend, the next 50 years of my life having to fight. So, like I said, at the beginning of the year, I took stock of my body and my weight. And I was about 20 pounds overweight at the time. And I decided that I was going to just do something different. Well, this created the opportunity, in part because pregnancy for me is not simple, right? It's not just like, I get to be excited about having my baby. I have been pregnant 9 times. This is my 9th pregnancy. I have 3 living children. I've had 2 pregnancies that ended not just in a miscarriage, but in one that I needed a blood transfusion for. So when you say something like, this is a problem, gestational diabetes is something that you have to get under control, or it can have X, Y, and Z problems for your baby. It's not something that I don't take seriously. And for anyone who has it, it's definitely something that I would advise you to take seriously. So we've talked about what it is. It's not, as far as I know, there isn't any definitive way to say who will have it or who doesn't. Now, there are factors that can definitely influence it. If you have diabetes within your family, it's a possibility. If you're over 25 when you are pregnant, when you get pregnant, it's a possibility. If you are non-white, it's a possibility. You have a higher risk for developing gestational diabetes. Now, I'm all of those things. I have all of those things. Not only am I over 20, I'm like 10 years past 25. So my body is doing like all kinds of looking at me crazy with this pregnancy. but it's worth it for me. Take my good days with my bad days, deal with it. So one of the things that me and my doctor talked about was ways to manage gestational diabetes. It is manageable. You can definitely do a couple of things to help influence your sugar numbers. One of those things, and I almost fell in my yard. I'm so glad my kid's not back here, y'all. They would have had too much fun with that. But one of the things you can definitely do is exercise more. And what my dietitian advised was just a walk. A 30-minute walk a day helps to create enough activity, get your blood pumping, get your heart moving, get all your organs, getting all that good rush of having to work a little harder in order to help flush out the sugars and just get your blood moving through your body and really pushing out all the things that can have a negative effect on your sugars in your body, right? So, my dietitian advised walking, but really it's like exercise. Just about any, mama safe exercises that you do, I've been told that are good for your body. Now, all the information I'm giving you is information that I got from my doctor. You're going to definitely want to speak to your doctor, your dietitians. You're definitely going to want to talk to other women and get their experiences as well before making decisions about what's best for you, because just like every woman is different, every pregnancy is different, and even though we may have similarities in any complications, the truth is even our complications can be different. So my doctor advised 30 minutes of exercise between her and my dietitian, who also gave me a meal plan to help me figure out the food part of it, the nutritional part of it, because it is not unlikely, it is not impossible that it is not an impossible idea to control your gestational diabetes with nutrition alone, with just what you eat. So she gave me a book of like all this information of like carb breakdowns and protein breakdowns. And she gave me a plan that tells me how many carbs, how much protein, how many snacks I should have in a day, and what that can look like. And when I couple that nutritional guide with the exercise and with also my glucose monitoring, then that gives me a better opportunity to see what my numbers are and to see if maybe I needed to add something else. Now, in my case, I ended up having to add a medication to it. My problem wasn't generally my numbers during the day from eating food or breakfast or things like that. My problem came when I was sleeping. There's something about me being at rest that my body just does not like. I'm sorry, guys, you can't see me. I'm trying to plug my phone up. All right, I'm back. There's something about me being at rest and my body has a hard time processing sugars while I'm sleeping. And because of that, I would always have numbers that were higher than doctors wanted. So I had to do something different. I had to add something to it, and it was not a fun idea. It was not fun to do, but it's something that I decided was worth the inconvenience on me so that I can have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. As I said earlier, I'm 17 weeks today. I still have 5 months to go in this pregnancy, and everything that I can to ensure that my baby is born healthy and that I'm healthy and that I'm here to receive it, my baby, when they're born, is just super, super important. One of the things I left out is like, how do you even find out if you have gestational diabetes? Well, let me just stand here for a second so you can see me and I can rest. I'm tired. So one of the things that happens when you're pregnant is around the 24 to 26 week mark is that you have what's called a glucose test. And that's when they give you a bottle, it's like this big, of this little sugary Kool-Aid type substance, and you're supposed to drink it, keep it all the way down, and then what they do is they draw blood before you drink it, And then they draw blood every 2 hours after you drink it. So if you only have to take it once, they'll do a 2 hour blood draw. But if you have to take it twice, they do it at 2 hours and 4 hours. So during this time, you're just kind of waiting around. I bought a book to read so that I could pass the time because there's just nothing else you can do. You can't eat anything until after the test. And what they do is that they compare those numbers. And if your numbers are within a certain range, it tells them that you have gestational diabetes. So what has to happen next is whatever your preventative care is. And I say preventative because everything you're doing after that is a means of like helping to create within your body a system that will lower those numbers and prevent them from getting any worse so that you don't have further complications either during your pregnancy or after the baby is born. Now, because I am of advanced maternal age at 35, I didn't have to wait till week 24. I was about 10 weeks in when my doctor was like, yep, we're going to do it. We're going to do it and see where it stood. And that's how I was able to find out earlier. Now, it's in part because of my age, because I'm over what is considered a normal age for women to get pregnant, I guess, whatever that is. But your body does different things. Your body's production slows down on different hormones, and it ramps up on different hormones while you're pregnant. And because of that, they put me at risk. And so I'm having to take other precautions. What I advise anybody who's facing gestational diabetes is to, one, be mindful of your numbers when you're doing your blood testing, but do not obsess over them. They do not get better just because you're stressed out about it. Number two, listen to your doctors or your sources. Whatever you guys, the people you have chosen to be a part of your birth story, to be a part of this phase of your life, if you don't trust their opinion, if you don't trust the things that they say you need in order to have a healthy delivery and a healthy baby and a healthy pregnancy period, then you should probably seek advice on who is another person you can get to fill that position, because every detail is important. So when you are facing gestational diabetes, you definitely want to be talking with or have someone on your team that you trust to give you the information necessary so that you can have a healthy pregnancy, baby, and beyond. And number three, just do everything that you can. So if it means exercising, put the exercising. Is not super convenient for me, and walking is the easiest for me to do because I don't have to go anywhere. It also gives me about 30 good mom minutes. Normally I say my prayers during this time. I do my affirmations. I think about things that I'm manifesting during this time. And I just take a minute to reset before going inside, getting a shower, Lord, so I can get this. You see them glistening? Yeah, man, it's just a walk, but it'll do the job if you let it. But do what is necessary for your body in order to have this as glorious a pregnancy as you can. It's already, a lot on your body when it's going through so many changes, but give yourself relief where you can. And also just try not to stress. Give it everything you got. Pray for the best, hope for the best, look and expect the best to happen, and then give yourself a break. Building a baby is hard work. Whether you feel it all the time or not, it's hard work. So give yourself some grace. So I hope this helped a little bit. If anybody was dealing with any questions about gestational diabetes, again, you do want to follow the instructions of your doctor. So make sure that, if you give them the option, weigh heavily about how positive it could be to have the test. If you opt out of it, because some women can opt out of it, then by all means, take that chance at your own risk. But definitely learn about what gestational diabetes is. Have a team that helps you to make an informed decision about whether or not you need to proceed with any further testing, or if are any changes you need to make in your current life or lifestyle so that you can have a healthier pregnancy. And trust your gut. Don't stress. And give yourself some grace if you do. It can be difficult, but I promise it's manageable, and I promise there's a silver lining. This is actually my second time having gestational diabetes, and I had it with my second born. And when she was born, she was regular birth weight. She did have a little bit of jaundice, and she was hyperglycemic. But we gave her a sugar bottle. Her numbers rose to normal, and she has been just a normal rambunctious child ever since that day. So don't stress about it, okay? Just don't stress. Enjoy your pregnancy as much as you can, and I would definitely keep you guys updated on all of my progress as I go along in my pregnancy as well. In the meantime, I love you guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, so I can just keep you informed on every part of this journey. And I'm so happy to share this with you. So just please, please, please subscribe, hit the notifications, and we will definitely talk soon.